of City Planning and Chair of the City Planning Commission. Later this afternoon, the City Council will be voting on the Midtown South mixed-use plan, which will deliver nearly 10,000 new homes right in the heart of Manhattan. And believe it or not, until the City Council's action today, it has been impossible to build housing in some of the most central neighborhoods in all of New York. And with a housing crisis this dire, this simply just does not make sense. It is unfathomable that in an area this central, with a housing crisis this dire, if you wanted to build housing today, our rules simply would not allow it. Thanks to the leadership of Mayor Adams and the City Council, especially our great council members who are standing right next to me, Eric Botcher and Keith Powers, we are on the verge of changing that. Kudos as well to our great Manhattan Borough President, Mark Levine. The borough president has been an amazing voice fighting for more housing across the borough and the city, going out of his way to identify new opportunities for housing throughout the borough, thanks to you. And Midtown South, of course, is one of those opportunities. We've also been lucky to have amazing partners in Chair Rafael Salamanca, Kevin Riley, and Speaker Adrian Adams, who have worked with us to develop a more affordable city. The Midtown South mixed-use plan will deliver 9,500 new homes. That is the largest neighborhood rezoning in decades. And it's also the first time ever that we are using new high-density zoning districts that will allow even more housing. For years, New York City advocated to lift the state's FAR cap, which is its arbitrary limit on residential density, which existed for some 60-plus years. And last year, thanks to the leaders in this room, we finally got it done. Then last year, together, we passed City of Yes for Housing Opportunity and created these new zoning tools to allow us to activate it. And where better to put them to use than right in Midtown South? But this plan doesn't just stop with housing. We're also investing in high-quality open space like a renovation of McCaffrey Playground and the incredible Broadway Vision Project. We're also improving transit with the 34th Street Busway. And of course, because we heard loud and clear about the importance of local manufacturing and design, we're investing in the fashion and garment industry. These wins are all thanks to the leadership and advocacy of everyone in this room. To close, I just want to highlight an amazing milestone that we are about to hit with the Council's action today. With the passage of the Midtown South mixed-use plan, we will have enabled over 100,000 new homes through city-led rezoning plans. Congratulations to you. From City of Yes to the Metro North stations in the Bronx, to Atlantic Avenue, Brooklyn, and now Midtown, every single one of these homes will make a difference in building a more affordable city for generations to come. This work has taken a team effort from everyone in government, the advocates who are here. Thank you, including so many of our amazing partners today. Now, it is my great pleasure to endorse and to bring forward some people here who are going to say a few words, and I'm going to start with one of the two local council members who represents the Midtown South mixed-use area neighborhood. He happens to be my successor in the City Council and my friend, Keith Powers.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and hi, and thank you for being here to celebrate the Midtown South rezoning, something that is a very exciting day for both Manhattan, Midtown, and the city of New York. Of course, I also want to thank my friend Dan Garoddick, not only for his friendship and support on this, but congratulations for the 100,000 new homes that will be so important to the city of New York as we grow and expand and plan for the future. I want to give a special shout out to my friend and my colleague, Councilmember Bottcher, who has quite literally been at the table with me for many hours, many days, many months, now many years, to help get this rezoning done. And it is rare that you have council members, but you have a colleague who is willing to step forward and raise his hand and say, I want to rezone my district. So normally we hear the opposite. And so to have somebody come forward and to be part of that is extraordinary and is important and is what leadership looks like. I want to thank the mayor's team here and the mayor for bringing this plan to the council, to our partners of the Garment District, the Garment District Alliance, to the countless advocates, community members, and on my staff and our staff who got us here. I'm not just saying thank you. Midtown says thank you, and the future of New York says thank you. And for the people who will have homes here in a great neighborhood, they say thank you as well. As many of you know, we've been talking about for the years in my time in the city council that we need to address the housing crisis, a crisis that is leaving New Yorkers without enough housing and leaving rents skyrocketing in Manhattan and citywide. Just last year, as mentioned, we passed a citywide rezoning to take a great first step towards increasing supply and addressing that housing shortage. But we couldn't stop there. We saw neighborhoods like this one that needed to have further investment and further action to activate them for new homes. And I'm happy that the next big step here is in Midtown South, which again is not just a step for Midtown South, but it really is a step for our entire city. I want to just reiterate a couple of reasons why at the beginning of this we saw an opportunity here and a couple of reasons why this is great progress for our city. First, of course, we are taking steps to build nearly 10,000 new homes, nearly 3,000 which will be permanently rent capped and affordable. We are allowing office conversions in spaces that have been struggling in the Midtown area. We can open up opportunity for new homes in a part of the city that's had less housing than the rest of the city for decades, and of course is filled with great jobs and great opportunity. We have an opportunity to create homes for low and middle class New Yorkers that don't exist here today. And it was important to us when we crafted this plan that the garment industry and the workers who have been the backbone of Midtown so many years have been protected. You're going to hear more details of this from Councilmember Bottcher, who has been a tireless advocate to the very end for the garment and fashion industries. And I want to thank everyone for putting in place investments that we're making. And I want to thank the folks from the industry for being here today, but also knowing how to advocate successfully to fight for an industry that is so important to New York City, while also understanding the generational investment we're making around housing here as well. In this plan, we've maintained commercial zoning rules in a crucial area to protect those industries which are crucial and important to the city. But on top of that, we're investing $121 million in new and existing programs that support those businesses and workers so they can have a home here for decades to come. And there's a big win, as mentioned, for Midtown area in this plan as well, the 34th Street busway that is happening that will enhance and lift up the transportation in this area. Myself and Councilmember Bottcher competed in a race last week. He was walking. I was on the bus. He succeeded. He won.
7 minutes faster.
By 7 minutes. That is a bus I take. That is a bus my constituents take. That is a bus the residents of Midtown South would take. I'm glad to know that we will be making that much faster for them. This is a plan that's going to the City Council today for a vote, and I have the confidence our colleagues are going to support us in this and to see the wisdom of this all. But again, I want to thank so many who helped make this happen. Again, I want to thank Councilmember Bottcher for his tireless advocacy. When we started this plan, we had a borough president, Mark Levine, who saw the wisdom of expanding and opening housing, has been an advocate for making sure that New York City, Manhattan, gets the housing that it needs and deserves and understands Manhattan's role in the citywide conversation. Thank you to our borough president, Mark Levine, as well. Thank you to our deputy mayor. Thank you to our city planning chairman. Thank you to everyone who showed up, used their voices to advocate for a better New York City. Let's build some housing in Midtown South. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Councilmember Powers, and congratulations. Next up, I want to bring the second council member who represents Midtown South, somebody who has been advocating tirelessly for more housing from the moment that I met him, and I know that he's incredibly proud of this accomplishment, Councilmember Eric Bottcher.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Look, I think if you asked people in government, did you get into this to make a lot of really great speeches about things you care about, or did you get into this to get things done and to make change? They'd all say, I got into this to make things happen and to make change. But at the end of their tenures, for so many people in government, you've got lots and lots of great speeches, really, really good speeches, but not a whole lot of change. Today, we're getting big stuff done right in Manhattan with the creation of over 9,500 homes with over 2,800 permanently affordable homes for New Yorkers. And that is as many affordable homes as have been built below 96th Street in the last 5 years combined in one single rezoning. And, you know, in addition to bringing this housing, that's essential to literally saving the city that we know and love, we're delivering in so many other ways with this rezoning, and that's why we've secured over $121 million for the garment industry and the fashion industry and for our makers. Because this is a hub for thousands of garment workers, so many of whom I got to meet during this process, going to their buildings, learning about their lives, learning about what they contribute to the city. And so I'm so proud of the investments we're putting into place, the protections we're putting into place, and the brand that's being launched today, Midtown Made. That's a new effort to really get the city involved in a big way in supporting our garment industry. So let this be the beginning of a new chapter for our garment industry, where we help it not just survive, but thrive and grow right here in Midtown. New Yorkers are going to see some really exciting things happen in Midtown with respect to public space. Broadway Vision that we've won as part of this rezoning is going to transform Broadway from 21st Street up to 42nd Street into a grand public pedestrian plaza that rivals the great public spaces of the world. Barcelona, Paris, we're going to have it right in Midtown Manhattan. For the people who live here, the people who work here, this will be our town square with kids' first play districts, plazas, greenery, shared streets. It's going to be truly remarkable, and I'm so excited we were able to get that as part of this rezoning, in addition to completing the 7th Avenue bike lane from Houston up to Central Park South, and the 34th Street car-free busway. We're also investing in the infrastructure that must accompany these kind of rezonings. And that's why I'm proud about the $13.5 million investment in McCaffrey Playground for a total redesign of McCaffrey Playground, a new enclosed EMS station to serve this neighborhood, and so many other investments in schools and so much more. And this plan honors our past with key landmark protections for some of the beautiful buildings in this district. Look, New Yorkers, we are proprietary about New York, right? We all feel like we own New York. New York is our city, and that is true. But in another sense, we are just stewards of New York City. We're just here for a short amount of time in the grand scheme of things. And the question we should all be asking ourselves is, what are we going to do while we are here to make this city better, make this special, special place even better? What are we going to do? What are we going to pass along to the next generations of New Yorkers? Our mission is to do everything we can to make New York City even better. That includes addressing the housing crisis, public space, infrastructure, transportation, the arts, fashion, culture, and so much more. That's what we're doing today with this rezoning. I want to thank my team, Lori Hargerogo, Carl Wilson, Hannah Moses, everyone on my team. I want to thank Paris Strotter, Brian Paul, the whole land use division. I want to thank Borough President Mark Levine for his early leadership on this. And I want to thank my friend and colleague and my partner, Councilmember Keith Powers, for his leadership. I want to thank Chair Dan Garodnick. Can we give a hand to Chair Dan Garodnick? I want to thank Aaron Charlotte Powers, Genevieve, Michael, Nate Bliss, Eric Botsford, everyone on the mayor's team. And I want to thank First Deputy Mayor Randy Mastro for his leadership in this as well as Community Boards 4 and 5 and all the advocates and the stakeholders, Barbara Blair and the Garment District Alliance, everyone who made this possible. Together, we're showing what New Yorkers can do when we come together, do the hard work to meet our challenges and build a city that works for everyone. Thanks so much, everybody. And Speaker Adams.
Thank you very much, Council Member. Before I turn to the next speaker, I also wanted to express my appreciation to the hardworking team at the Department of City Planning, some of them who are standing behind me right now. Thank you to everything you all did to make this possible. The next speaker is no stranger to this conversation, whether as a council member or the borough president of the Bronx or the commissioner of housing for the city of New York, and now the deputy mayor for housing, economic development, and workforce, the deputy mayor, Adolfo Carrion.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dan. Let me just say that this is what a true partnership looks like. Government, all levels of government coming together to make historic advances in a city such as ours. Imagine a situation in a global city, in a central business district that's transit rich, that's architecture and building rich, that's services rich, that's jobs rich, that does not allow the production of housing. How absurd is that idea? And that's where we were for decades upon decades. We were living in a place, in a city, in a district, in that global city, where you could not build housing in this ideal urban planner's neighborhood. And as a city planner, it frustrated the heck out of me, Dan Garodnick, that we just couldn't build housing in this area. And guess what? Just like the other neighborhood plans that have been developed, just like the advances that were made in places such as Willets Point out in Queens, where mayor after mayor after mayor and administration after administration and city council after city council and speaker after speaker and city planning director after city planning director could not move those things, We're building entire neighborhoods and lifting these neighborhoods up all around the city of New York. This is yet another historic opportunity to turn the tide, to shift, to do the right thing for the future of New York City. So to all of the people behind me, I want to say thank you, and I love Midtown Made.
All right.
Remember that branding. Put it out on social media. Let's make this thing go viral, because there is a future for the garment industry in the city of New York, in the old garment neighborhood, in the old garment district. We have to keep that flame burning as we build close to 10,000 units of housing. And get this, one-third of those units will be 100% permanently affordable housing for working families and low-income New Yorkers. That's good work. So, just as the other speakers, I want to give special thanks to Councilmember Powers, Councilmember Bottcher, to Director Gorodnick, and to all the teams for their hard work on this important and historic neighborhood plan. I want to pause for a moment to call out the team at City Hall and all the people who have spent months and thousands of hours to get this across the finish line to a yes vote by the New York City Council. Thank you, Layla Bozorg. Thank you, Aaron Charlotte Powers. Thank you to all of the team, all the members of the team that have worked on this. I also want to extend my personal thanks, being a former member of the New York City Council, to the Speaker of the City Council, Adrian Adams, without whose leadership this would not be possible today. Council member, also known as the Chairman, Rafael Salamanca, and Council member Kevin Riley, whose committee it went through, and my dear friend, who it appears will be the next Comptroller of the City of New York, El Presidente, Borough President Mark Levine. Thank you for your leadership and for always being a champion for housing. I'm going to take the privilege of the microphone and the fact that I have it and just give a few other special thank yous. I want to give a special thanks and recognition to Barbara Blair, the president of the Garment District Alliance. Barbara, thank you for being a longtime advocate for the betterment of Midtown South. And there's another young lady, Mi Jong Lee. Mi Jong Lee has been a fashion designer and a manufacturer for over 40 years in the heart of the Garment District. Mi Jong runs a company called Amel Design. She and her team are responsible for printing these amazing T-shirts, Midtown Made. Way to go. Thank you, Mi Jong. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had Housing Week in New York City, a week that broadcasted the incredible achievements of the Adams administration to produce more housing for New Yorkers. 3,000 homes at the Flatbush Airport site, new housing on Coney Island, intergenerational senior housing out there, and financing a record-breaking 28,000 homes just in fiscal year 25 alone. In total, we have laid the groundwork for over 426,800 homes across the entirety of New York City. And let me just emphasize this so you can remember it. In just 3.5 years, under Mayor Adams' leadership, working in partnership with this City Council, we hold each of the top 3 years for nearly every category of housing production in New York City history. Affordable rental units, units for formerly homeless households, new construction units, supportive housing units. And we're not just financing future housing, we're getting people into homes today, holding the top 3 years for connecting more New Yorkers to affordable homes and placing homeless individuals into permanent affordable housing. If there were gold, silver, and bronze medals for housing production, this administration would sweep the podium. Again, this work is very intentional, and it has to be done in partnership with the New York City Council. By investing billions in capital dollars, cutting bureaucratic red tape, advocating for state legislation, securing zoning changes, using city-owned land, and advancing neighborhood plans like this one across the city, we're leaving no stone unturned. We started with as the chair suggested, our Metro North Bronx Metro North Station Area Plan, passed by the council to create nearly 7,000 homes, including 1,700 permanently income-restricted affordable housing units and 10,000 jobs that will be close to public transit. Next, we worked with the council, again, on the Atlantic Avenue mixed-use plan, facilitating the development of 4,600 new units of housing, 1,900 of which will be permanently affordable, and $235 million in community investments, infrastructure upgrades, and open space. And the work here today in Midtown South is set to unlock, like you've heard, nearly 10,000 units of housing in a transit and opportunity-rich section of New York City. Midtown South is home to some of our city's most iconic parks, buildings, and businesses in our city. We have seized the moment. We have seized the opportunity to take advantage of this great place in the global city with the greatest people and businesses in the world and set it on the right track. And I want to say again, thank you and congratulations to all our partners. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Carrion. Our next speaker is somebody whose name you've heard a number of times today. That's because he has been a great and consistent champion of housing in the borough of Manhattan, and of course, now much more broadly than Manhattan. He is somebody who has identified specific areas, neighborhoods, sites throughout the borough, and of course, this is one of those very areas. Let me introduce to you the Borough President of Manhattan, Mark Levine.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to mi hermano, vicealcalde Carrion. I'm going to call you the Deputy Mayor only because Randy Mastro has left the Rotunda. Don't want to get into trouble. The terms rock star and New York City Chair of Planning do not generally get uttered in the same sentence. Dan Garodnick is a rock star. For what you have done to fight for housing in the city, an incredible, incredible record of accomplishment. I'm so grateful to you, Dan. And these two council members here, Council Members Powers and Botcher, you will not find two elected officials who are smarter, harder working, more effective, and most importantly, braver than these two leaders. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you. We are on the brink of something really big. This is the biggest neighborhood rezoning that will score the biggest win for housing in decades, almost 10,000 units. And it was not a given that we would be here. We are here because the people behind me have fought battle after battle after battle, beginning with the fight to raise the 12 FAR cap, which was not easy, a very politically challenging fight. Because we won that fight, there will be thousands more homes in Midtown due to this rezoning. We are here because the City of Yes, which has many provisions that will be critical to the success of this neighborhood transformation. We're here because our partners at the state secured excellent tax incentives for the conversion of vacant buildings into housing, ensuring that they will have affordability. And we're here because these leaders, especially council members Powers and Botchers, fought for a bold, impactful, diverse, balanced plan that will create almost 10,000 homes, including a record number of affordable units, and that will transform Broadway from a place that you just passed through to an actual destination. You heard it here first. Eric Botcher says we're going to rival Champs-Élysées. I'm in for that. We're going to transform transportation cross town on 34th Street so that never again will Councilmember Botcher walking on foot beat Councilmember Powers riding a bus. We cannot allow that to be repeated. We're going to have a vibrant, 24-hour, economically dynamic, safer neighborhood here, thanks to these changes. This is big, and this is only probably 2% of the housing we need in New York City to deal with the worst housing affordability crisis in our history. We need to do this 50 more times. I am very confident we can do it, because the way housing policy works is every battle that you win makes it easier to win the next battle. And we have won a succession of big ones here because of the leaders that are behind me, and I am so proud to partner with every one of you. I only have one request. I want a Made in Midtown t-shirt out of this deal. All right? So if I can get that, I'm on board. Thank you to everyone who made this victory possible. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Presidente. Okay, we're now happy to take any questions that you all may have. Do you have any questions?
Good afternoon. So often when it comes to getting a big project passed like this, there is, a lot of opposition, but it seems like there's a lot of unity between the mayor's office, between the city council, between local businesses. What did it take to ultimately get everyone here, get people on board? What were the compromises that were made? How is everyone smiling today?
I think that's a really important question. We were so happy to have enjoyed great partners in this process with two amazing council members, the borough president, and a community that recognized that the status quo was not working. There was an understanding here that the idea that housing was not permitted in Midtown Manhattan, even in the context of an office to residential conversion, just did not make sense. Didn't make sense for the neighborhood. It didn't make sense for the borough or city. But to your question, the council members here made it a high priority for them, and they can speak for themselves, a high priority for them in terms of what they wanted to deliver for their constituents and for the city. We wanted to deliver and to work with them to be able to make this happen, and consistent with all of our neighborhood plans that we have advanced in this administration, we have worked very hard to make sure we started with the local leaders, that we listened to the community, and we carefully made our proposals in a way that were respectful of community needs and that we believed would advance the ball. And that's why I think that we have seen so much success, and that's why I think that we are seeing the ability to celebrate 100,000 units under rezonings under this administration. I don't know if you all want to add anything. Okay, all right.
Pick on other people's neighborhoods. I will say one thing we definitely have to do is to continue to advance in my district, in Midtown, the other office conversions that provide plentiful amount of housing. We have the Pfizer project on 42nd Street down the block from my office that can provide thousands of new housing units. We have a lot of projects coming forward. Those are enabled, first of all, by state and city legislation and zoning actions that allow for those. If they are going to be coming through the council or otherwise, we have to be willing to say yes to those and push those projects forward. So while that might not be a neighborhood-specific rezoning, I think in the neighborhoods that I represent, I think Councilor Bacha represents in other areas, probably downtown here as well, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to create new affordable housing and to accelerate conversions. We as a city government, city council have to move very quickly and fastly to help those projects go through that process, and as needed, be willing to say yes, because I think in single projects alone, we are getting thousands of new units, some down here as well, with a lot of affordable housing. So you might think in those sort of commercial areas, just like this one, we need to do a lot more to enhance and advance those projects as well.
Can I just say one thing? There's a myth that there's no more room to build housing in Manhattan. And people generally subscribe to the idea we need more housing, but too often they want it in other parts of the city. And this myth has been used to block a lot of housing in Manhattan. And we decided to challenge that myth. And when I started my term as borough president, we scoured every property in the borough. We found 171 sites where we believe we can build housing. Everything from vacant lots to single-story retail, underused city facilities, and legacy manufacturing neighborhoods like Midtown South. And we conservatively calculated it could add 70,000 plus units to Manhattan. So refer you to the plan. We can build more housing even in Manhattan, especially in Manhattan. And for the reasons that I think the deputy mayor laid out, this is a great place to live. Jobs are here, recreation is here, cultural opportunities are here. Midtown South is going to be an awesome neighborhood to live in, and we can do this all over the borough. Thank you.
And let me just add very quickly, we're advancing the Manhattan Plan, where we forecast 100,000 units of housing able to be built on the island of Manhattan. And the City Housing Activation Task Force, which was charged by the mayor to identify city assets where there are opportunities to build lots of housing, market rate and affordable. And one, for instance, is my old address at 100 Gold Street, which is the housing agency's headquarters right at a few blocks from here, where we offered it to the development community as an opportunity to partner with the City of New York to deliver market rate and affordable housing and neighborhood enhancements. And we received phenomenal proposals. That plan is moving forward. There will be affordable housing there as well as sites across the city where the city is the owner and can be the owner partner with the private sector.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Before you ask that question, I just want to note ManhattanPlan.nyc is the effort to actually engage Manhattan residents and ask them that very question: where and how would you like to envision more housing in the borough? Manhattan used to be a place where people started their journey. It is now at the bottom on housing production. We know there are neighborhoods in Manhattan that are actually losing housing, not gaining housing. So we need to take real steps here. The Manhattan Plan will be coming out with recommendations for possibilities by the end of the year. I'm sorry, Greg.
Deputy Mayor with the Planning Director. Have you found that secret combination yet that's going to up the affordable housing, the truly affordable housing, the permanent housing number? 1/3 might be the best that it could be.
Well, when we do neighborhood planning processes, we look to create mandatory affordable housing throughout the entire neighborhood, which is what we are doing here in Midtown South. Through mandatory inclusionary housing, which is the most aggressive mandatory program that exists in the country, we are requiring that any new development, whether it is an office conversion or whether it's a ground-up new development, that it include up to 30% affordable. The opportunities to do more also exist out there. They usually come in the context of public sites or opportunities where the city can work with its housing agency, and the deputy mayor can speak about this, to do 100% affordable buildings, even in the midst. This is something we will continue to look for in context of our neighborhood plans. We have more neighborhood plans that are coming, but that is a good way for us to find an opportunity to up the numbers on affordable. Here, we're really excited that we're able to deliver those 2,800 affordable units in the context of a full, many block neighborhood plan. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you all very much. Thank you for being here. Congratulations. Thank you, council members.